Go ahead.
We are one. That oneness is reflected in thought, word, and deed. That oneness lights our world and yours. We are one in spirit. We are one global community of shared humanity. We are one as caretakers of the earth. We are one, awakened by the omnipresent connection of love for each other, no matter what. Can't you see? We are one.
Mary, that was so beautiful, sharing the message of oneness with your latest poem. Welcome to the show. That was so beautiful. You love to write poems like almost every single day,
Right.
And this one is an important one.
Right.
Explain to us.
Because the idea of oneness is one that says whether or not you are living in San Diego, New York, or living in Brazil,
Right.
We're all one, and we're all affected by that oneness, by the air we breathe, by how we treat each other.
That's right.
That becomes a part of how we understand we are one.
Today we are honoring Martin Luther King Jr.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about some celebrations happening. I'll get to you in just a moment, but quickly I just want to ask you this, Mary. You grew up in Chicago.
I did.
You said you didn't get a chance to meet Martin Luther King
I
Jr.
did one time.
You did one time?
I heard him speak, and
Okay, tell us about that one time.
well, he was speaking at a church, at a school on the south side of Chicago, and I was absolutely blown away to be in the room where this man was talking about love, forgiveness, hope, and dreams.
What does today mean to you?
What today means to me is for us to remember the gifts that Martin Luther King left for us to continue with: love, hope, forgiveness, joy, and the hopefulness that we can become one world.
Thank you
In
so
peace.
much. Thank you for your poem, for
Thank
your
you.
beautiful poem.
Thank you.
And I'm joined here with Makita, and you may recognize Shane Harris as well. You guys are holding an event today at the World Beat Center. Talk about your event.
Well, it's honoring Dr. King. Our center is dedicated to Martin Luther King. So it's about bringing all colors together as one. And that was his dream, and his dream is a reality today and every day. We fought hard for that holiday. So there's no race but the human race. We're one people.
Shane, you're going to be the keynote speaker there
I am.
today. What are you going to be talking about?
Well, the theme of this event is diversity is our strength. And I'm going to be talking a lot about Dr. King was really preaching that we can come together, no matter where you come from, what race you are, what gender you are, that we're in this together. I'm going to be talking about that and what we must do, not only to carry his dream, but to carry his vision. He died in Memphis, Tennessee, fighting the Poor People's Campaign. And our goal is to really highlight that we've got to deal with real issues like homelessness, social justice issues of today, the civil rights issues of today, addressing the needs of the people. And Dr. King was doing exactly that. So I've got a special keynote that I'm looking forward to sharing with everyone this King Day. And I'm inviting everybody to come out with Makeda to the World Beat Center to enjoy this great celebration.
If you want people to walk away with just one message from your speech today, from your keynote address, what do you want people to walk away with?
That we must take action for the vision of Dr. Martin Luther King. It's talking about his dream is one thing, but in carrying his vision is another. And from Dr. King to Barack Obama, we were able to find a path to where we were able to go. But we've got to see even further than Barack Obama. Where do we as a people want to go? Where do we as a city, as a country, as a nation want to go? Unity, not a partisan holiday. This is about a man who stood on issues. He didn't stand for parties. He stood for issues of his people. And we need to commit ourselves to that vision and that dream that he lived, he spoke across this country and across the world.
And Makeda, you've been working long and hard on this event. It's from 12 o'clock today until 6 p.m.
6 o'clock.
Lot going on. You're going to have
a
lots of
lot.
performances. Talk a little bit about that before we actually take a look at one of the performances.
Well, you know, Dr. King's dream were one people. So we're going to have the Native Americans bless the performance before we go into it. We're going to have African dancers, Aztec dancers, Kush will be there, reggae music, and the originators. Then we're going to go into belly dancing. It's all people, all children.
Everyone is invited.
Yeah, it's so important for us to come together as one, and we are, and have that integrity, as Dr. King, was talking about, and just move forward in this great nation.
Makeda, Shane, Mary, thank you so much. Before we wrap it up, let's go ahead and take a look at one of the performances and tell me who introduced them for us.
These will be dancers and drummers, and this is the top drummer, Jermaine. Yes, and
Okay.
so they're going to really get down and
Take it
perform.
away.
Yeah.
Dr. Martin Luther King celebrating his life and legacy. Stella, thank you so much. Many will also honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. with a day of service, giving back to their communities. Today, people will be holding cleanups and other projects, including in Balboa Park. Yesterday, volunteers helped stuff personal care items into hundreds of bags, which will be handed out to the homeless youth across San Diego. Organizers say it's a great way to pay tribute to the civil rights icon.
Dr. Martin Luther King was an advocate for service to others. Throughout his life and his activism, he promoted benefiting society through selfless acts of change.
State Assemblyman Tom Gloria and City Council members were among those who volunteered. And the annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Parade was held downtown yesterday. Hundreds of community college students and staff marched down Harbor Drive along with bands, floats, and drill teams, each one of them celebrating Dr. King's life and legacy.
He was just a normal person. He just decided that enough was enough and he had to do something about it. And he ultimately ended up dying for that. And the message that he left and the legacy, and everyone continuing, as you see out here, to come and still, celebrate that message and legacy, that in itself is inspiring.
This was the parade's 40th year in San Diego.